A Young Republicans group text was leaked, and it featured some pretty damning stuff. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm just going to kind of read you an article here because while I like the news commentary where you're not just regurgitating other people's work, I want to tell you exactly what this piece said, and then we'll break it down a little bit. This is by Jason Bieferman and Emily Ngo. I encourage all of you, when looking at your political commentary, to look for which commentators are actually citing the work that they're talking about. There's a lot of people in the political commentary space who just kind of steal other people's work without giving them any credit. I don't like to be one of those vultures. I think that it's pretty reprehensible. This is Jason Bieferman and Emily Ngo, and this is their work that I'm sharing with you. To quote a couple of the texts from this Republican group chat that got leaked, everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. Also, we are officially under consideration for a Trump endorsement. I'm ready to watch people burn now. Great, I love Hitler. I really hope people don't clip this and take it out of context. I'm quoting people that are not me. That's very important. Stay in the closet, F word. This girl is fully R word. They call black people watermelon people. It's really bad. And listen, folks, I've said some shit in some group chats. I feel like a lot of people have said some shit in some group chats with their friends. It's a human thing to do, but two things. Number one, not stuff like this. Okay? We all can get inappropriate in our group chats. That's normal. I encourage you to watch what you say, but getting inappropriate with group chats is a normal thing, but maybe not calling black people watermelon people. Like I said edgy shit in group chats when I was 16, 17 years old. Maybe it bled into 18, but this is just next level. And this is leaders of Young Republicans groups. So throughout the country, they've been worried what would happen if their Telegram chat ever got leaked, but they kept typing anyway. They referred to black people as monkeys and, of course, the watermelon people, and mused about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about raping their enemies and driving them to suicide and lauded Republicans who they believed support slavery. See, that's another level than your typical edgy group chat behavior. William Hendricks, cool name, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used the N-word and without a hard R, and then I guess another spelling that I haven't seen before of the N-word. Variations of racial slurs dozens of times in the chat. Bobby Walker, the vice chair of the New York State Young Republicans at the time, referred to as epic. And Peter, I'm not going to say that last name, who at the time was chair of the same organization, wrote in a message sent in June that, quote, everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. This guy, whose last name that I can't pronounce starts with G, was referring to the upcoming vote on whether he should become chair of the Young Republicans National Foundation, the GOP's 15,000-member political organization for Republicans between 18 and 40 years old. Congratulations, people who are 38, you are considered young. That's big. I know people late in their 20s who are saying that they're old. I'm kind of saying that right now, and I'm not even 25 yet. Quote, I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers, this young man continued. Two members of the chat responded. One of them says, everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber, and everyone that endorsed but then votes for us is going to the gas chamber. Somebody else says, when do we start bullying, dude? To which another replies, we have a solid 3 people who can have them want to jump. Another says, if they vote for us, why would they be gassed? Another says, when do we bring that side out? And then the torture line, we only want true believers. Someone says, can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. Another says, I'm ready to watch people burn now. And another says, we got to pretend that we like them. Hey, come on in, take a nice shower and relax. Very old school anti-Semitism, nothing very subversive, just the classic anti-Semitic things you see all the time. They're saying that they want to watch people burn and things like that. And since Politico began making inquiries into this, one member of the group chat that is no longer employed at their job and another's job offer was rescinded. Prominent New York Republicans, including Elise Stefanik and Senate Minority Leader Rob Ortita, have denounced the chat, and festering resentments among young Republicans have now turned into public recriminations, including allegations of character assassination and extortion, because it is a character assassination to leak that somebody is making jokes about sending people to gas chambers. I suppose there's some sort of mischaracterization there, although I'm not quite sure what that could be. It seems like these words speak for themselves. The 2,900 pages of these chats, shared among a dozen millennial and Gen Z Republicans between early January and mid-August, chronicle their campaign to seize control of the National Young Republican organization on a hardline pro-Donald Trump platform. Many of the chat members also work inside government or party politics, and one of them serves as a state senator. Together, the messages reveal a culture where racist, anti-Semitic, and violent rhetoric circulate freely, and where the Trump-era loosening of political norms has made people feel a little bit more like they can say whatever they want. You know, a lot of people were saying that Trump is president now. We can say retarded in the workplace again. I don't think you should do that, but I suppose that's their prerogative. We'll see if they face any consequences. Quote, the more the political atmosphere is open and liberating, like it has been with the emergence of Trump and a more right-wing GOP even before him, it opens up young people and older people to telling racist jokes, making racist commentaries in private and public, says Joe Fegan, a Texas A&M sociology professor who has studied racism for the last 60 years. He's also concerned the words would be applied to public policy. It's chilling, of course, because they will act on these views. The dynamic of easy racism and casual cruelty played out in often dark, vivid fashion inside of the chats, where campaign talk and party gossip blurred into streams of slurs and violent fantasies. The group chat members spoke freely about the pressure to cow to Trump, to avoid being called a rhino, the love of Nazis within their party's right wing, and the president's alleged work to suppress documents related to the wealthy financier Jeff Epstein's child sex crimes. I don't know if you heard about this, but there was a whole thing with Trump and Epstein. Trump's too busy burning the Epstein files, Alex Dwyer, the chair of the Kansas Young Republicans, wrote in one incident. Dwyer and Kasky declined to comment. Maligno and Hendricks did not return requests for comment, but some involved in the chat did respond publicly. One of them claimed the release of the chat is part of a highly coordinated year-long character assassination led by Gavin Wax and the New York City Young Republican Club, an allusion to the once obscured internecine, I don't know what the fuck that means, war that has now spilled out into the open. These logs were sourced by way of extortion and provided to Politico by the very same people conspiring against me, he said. What's most disheartening is that, despite my unwavering support of President Trump since 2016, rogue members of his administration, including Gavin Wax, have participated in this conspiracy to ruin me publicly simply because I challenged them privately. Wax, a staffer in Trump's State Department, fuck me, formerly led the New York Young Republican Club, a separate city-based group that is at odds with the state organization, the New York State Young Republicans, and he declined to comment. But despite his allusions to infighting, he still apologized. Quote, I am so sorry that those offended by the insensitive and inexcusable language found within more than 28,000 messages of a private group chat that I created during my campaign to lead the Young Republicans, he said. While I take complete responsibility, I have had no way of verifying their accuracy and am deeply concerned that the message logs in question may have been deceptively doctored. I don't know about that. At least one person in the Telegram chat works in the Trump administration, Michael Bartels, who, according to his LinkedIn account, serves as a senior advisor in the Office of General Counsel within the U.S. Small Business Administration. Bartels did not have much to say in the chat, but he didn't offer any pushback against the offensive rhetoric in it either. He declined to comment. A notarized affidavit by Bartels and obtained by Politico also sheds light on the inter-party rivalry led the Rostier Roar Room. There's a lot of words in this that it might be someone's last name. I don't know. Telegram chat to be made public. Bartels references Wax as well. He wrote that he did not give Politico the chat and that Wax demanded in a phone call that he provide the full chat log. Quote, when I attempted to resist that demand after providing some of the requested information, Wax threatened my professional standing and raised the possibility of potential legal action related to an alleged breach of a non-disclosure agreement, Bartels claimed in the affidavit. My position within the New York Young Republican Club was directly threatened. Listen, there's a lot more to this. I encourage you to read this piece. It's a long piece, and there's more stuff, like one of them saying, yeah, I had some back and forth with the VC in Michigan. Current chair is deer in headlights. We have a call Wednesday. Someone says many agree. He did say, my delegates I bring will vote for the most right-wing person, to which Peter Giunta said, great, I love Hitler. There were very few minority groups spared from the predatory and insane shit in the chat. There were white supremacist symbols, people saying sex is gay. Sex? It was rape. epic. This is all real shit. You could take a look into it. They go after Jews, which a lot of people on the right do, and a lot of people in the pro-Israel community like to pretend that anti-Semitism is only a thing on the left. I encourage you to read this piece and see just how anti-Semitic young Republicans really are right now, because shockingly, no matter how much you support the state of Israel, very often these people do hate Jews anyway. A lot of people who are pro-Israel are Christian evangelists who want to fulfill some sort of prophecy from thousands of years ago. And that's kind of what we have right here is young Republicans. This isn't fucking groypers. This isn't like, I mean, maybe some of them are groypers, but this isn't a Nick Fuentes Telegram fan account. These are people who are involved in the Republican Party. And I guess that's the primary point I'm trying to make by sharing this all with you is like, these are actual people who get involved with Republican politics. If this was just some fringe shit, I don't think this would necessarily be worth reporting on, because I'm sure you can find messages like that on actual forums that can be publicly accessed from people who are like the Nick Fuentes types. But these people get jobs in the administration, as we just read. These people are involved with the state young Republican clubs that have thousands of members. This is not random bullshit. This is a pattern of behavior in the youth of the Republican Party. And we talked about this on our show last night, my episode with Tim. Like, this is how they act. This is how young Republicans act. Republicans are not getting more socially liberal the way they used to say they would. Republicans are getting more racist, more anti-Semitic, and more bigoted, and talking about like rape as if it's some trivial thing, and talking about Trump covering up the Epstein files as if it's some like cool thing. And it's really fucked. So meet the new generation of young Republicans. This is how they operate behind the scenes. And this is just the shit that we know. Imagine what else is happening in these group chats from these people who have real influence within the party. With Bulwark, I'm Cam Kasky. Thanks for watching.